open it up to questions if you have anything. Okay, so welcome to all the new Team Relentless coaches. We're going to see a lot of growth over the next month. You guys kind of came in at a crazy time, but a great time because we just returned back from Summit and PIO just released and 3-Day Refresh just released. And it's been insane after being gone for 6 days, and being part of the PIO test group made it crazy for me with lots of questions. But I'm really happy you guys signed up. I'm assuming that, you've seen all of my transformations and progress, and that's probably a lot of why you selected PIO. This is an amazing program because what you've heard me say is this is for anybody. And I have gotten better with what I've done as a coach. Robin, I know we've been friends since we were kids. You've been watching me, same with you, Michelle. We've known each other for years. My progression as a coach has gotten better because I've learned what doesn't work for me. And this is one thing that I tell all of my coaches is that it's easy if you haven't watched me, like for you, Megan, until just recently to say like, oh my God, everything seems to be going so great for her and she's successful. Where I am now is really has to do with getting involved in the community. We're not only coaches that are my personally sponsored coaches, but just coaches in the community, attending Summit, attending Super Saturday, being in groups that I run with other coaches and getting to know them, doing what Beachbody encourages us to do, personal development, and going to these live events, and doing what you see me doing as a coach, encouraging people, inviting people, running groups, and then really collectively looking and seeing like, okay, well, this really did not work. It didn't get people encouraged. It didn't, help them. There was no response. So instead of, the definition of crazy is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting the same result. I see lots of people in life, you see it too, with relationships, problems with, kids, and even when you're teaching somebody, encouraging them like this, and you just see them going through the same thing, beating their head against the wall, and it doesn't work, and they're getting frustrated. So what I try to encourage is the fact that I've taken a page out of Beachbody's book, is that, years ago they had P90X and P90X2 and, Les Mills Pump and Chilean Extreme. And whereas they're still excellent programs that yield great results for people who do it, times are changing. People don't have time. People get confused with the meal plan. So I've watched them listen to the feedback from the consumers, from the coaches, and then they change things. They market these new programs, which 21 Day Fix was a result of people saying like, hey, I can't do the the workouts well, or I can do the workouts, but I can't understand the meal plan. And then, there's people who say, oh, I can't, these times are too long. So they did T25, now PIO is something that has been taught in the gym for over 10 years. And now they've turned it into at-home program. This is a program that is going to change lives because of the fact that you don't feel like you're going to die. Wet sweat. You're going to be challenged. There's times that, you're going to wake up sore, but it's not as intimidating as all these other programs. And literally anybody and everybody can do that. So this, as coaches, is in our arsenal that we can help people. It doesn't discriminate. There's not just a certain targeted audience. So what I've learned is that, I just keep trying new things. And sometimes things you do as a coach grow really stagnant. So this is the thing you have to keep in mind, is that who I am now, if you haven't been watching me, is not who I was 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 years ago, or even a year ago when I became a coach. So you have to be willing to, number one, you don't want to go through the motions as a coach or in your workouts, because you're not going to get results. You're not going to be effective. You're not going to learn anything. You want to kind of be cognizant of what you're doing. And look, I've told people that, and you guys are on my Facebook, that I do things to engage people in with me. And that's one thing that I want to share with you. If you are a working coach and you want to promote these products, then, saying like, oh, I just finished PIO Define Upper. That's great. I know what you're talking about. So all these coaches on here who they own PIO, they're going to know what you're talking about. Any other coach that you are, but people out there who don't own PIO, who don't know what Beachbody's doing is about, they're not going to know what you're talking about. I see coaches posting, not just my coaches, but people, I'm friends with probably 1,000 different coaches. They post these things and they're like, I'm not getting any response. I'm not going anywhere with my business. Well, if you just say that, it's just an information post. It's nothing that creates anybody to say, what's PIO? Or, oh, I want that. And, and I've seen some people share, like recently, Ryan's 3-Day Refresh results, because he's had awesome results. And I've seen people, because we've been tagged in it. And then I see, people saying, what's 3-day refresh? Because they see the results and they're like, whoa, I want that. And then they send them a video about 3-day refresh. Well, you can say the same exact thing that is in a video, but the thing is, they want to hear from you. If you ask me something and I tell you where to go, and look for it, most people won't do their own legwork. Or they want to hear it from you. So I have a blog. So I'm like, go to my blog. I've given you all the information you can see, and it's very informative. It's not a sales pitch, because when you send a video, sometimes it can be portrayed as a sales pitch. So for me, this is just some of my feedback that I share with you, that if you're wanting to promote these products, if you're wanting to earn extra income, if you're even wanting to do what I did and be able to go full time, there's no right or wrong reason for what you do. But if that is the case, then you want to be able to make it personal. When somebody says, oh, you just shared some man's 3-day refresh results. What is this? That's amazing results. Something like, yeah, that's my coach's husband. He started this new program, and this is the basis of it. It's a 3-day cleanse that anybody can do to jumpstart their weight loss, to get back on track if they went on a vacation, or fallen off course, and they're wanting something to get back on course. Would you like me to send you more information? Are you wanting this to get started? Are you wanting this because you just came back from 6 days in Vegas like them, and then send a video? But I mean, if you just send a video, it's nothing personal. Then you are merely nothing more than a ad in the middle of a magazine, in my opinion. And I did that in the beginning. So there's nothing wrong with it, because, obviously I did that, and I have reached a lot of my goals as a coach. I've helped a lot of people. So I'm not saying that it's detrimental to your success, but my thing is, I did that a lot in the beginning, and it was not beneficial. And I didn't tell a lot of my coaches in the beginning this information. And so I think that it may have slowed some of our process down. So my thing is, learn from my mistakes, listen to what I have to say, and try to, avoid wasted time or energy on doing things that it may not be ineffective, but it may not be as effective as possible. So those are the things I want to share with you. The basis of the calls, I don't want to keep you on a long time, because, it is 8:30, and I don't know where I know where some people are. I don't know where, are you, Megan? Are you on West Coast? Yeah. Okay. Well, then I guess we're okay, but it's still kind of late. I know Robin, his husband, had a race yesterday, so probably everybody's tired. It's Monday, but I want to just welcome you. And I sent you that 7-day quick start thing in the message. I don't know if you have it, Megan or Alicia, but we're going to go over, I'm going to show it to you. You can access it later in the Coach Online office, but I just want to go over a few things. Robin and Michelle, and then I know some of my other new coaches are not able to get on it. So if they do watch this later on, you did receive my welcome email. So a few things I want to remind you of that's important is, when you're a coach and you sign up with a challenge pack, you get a 30-day club trial membership. It is 30 days free trial. No need to cancel it. But on day 30, you get charged, I think, $38.95, and it gets billed every 13 weeks. If you don't plan on using it, make sure you contact by email or phone, which really, it's something that simply could be done through email, in my opinion. Coach Relations, and have them cancel it. That way you don't get billed on day 30. Because I send it in the email to everybody, but not everybody likes to read it, or it's at the bottom sometimes and they don't read it. So make sure that you set a reminder in your phone, or do it right away if you do not want that. That way you don't get billed, because I get this all the time, even though I send emails to people. Oh my God, I just got charged anywhere from $38.95, or depending on what states, they add tax to it, which I don't know why. That's really not Beachbody, it's just the government. It's sometimes $42, and people are freaking out. So if you don't want to get billed that way, or if you don't have the money in your account, make sure that you get that taken care of. It's easy if that gets billed and you forget, all you do is call and they refund it. But some people I know live paycheck to paycheck, and I've had problems where it's caused them major problems. So I just want to make sure that you know this, and this is something for your reference when if you sponsor a coach in the future, that you relay this so that you don't have any issues, because some people are super paranoid and they think you were trying to screw them over. And so we try to avoid problems and trust issues. So that's one thing I wanted to discuss. One of the things that I want everybody to do, if you're not my own personally sponsored coach, please get with your coach. I know, Alicia, we all know where you stand right now. You're like gung ho, but everybody has different goals. And I want you all to know that, you're in my Team Relentless group. This is a group where we share, business questions, successes, struggles. I have somebody who has, such and such issue. What do you think if you're a new coach? So that's the business thing. I've put you all in, or if you have another coach, you're probably in an accountability group for the program you're doing. So I just tried to make this clear in the beginning, just to keep it simple. If it's a if you're doing PIO, or if you're doing another program and you have a question regarding the, something pertaining to the health or fitness, post in that group. If you have a business related question, post in the Team Relentless group. I know it can be super confusing if you're new and you get added to all these groups. So I try to clarify it because it can be confusing. If you post your PIO results or PIO question in the Team Relentless group, we're not going to give you the boot. Just, some simple thing. I ask you all to make sure that you do get involved in your fitness accountability group, whether, it's through your coach or through me, because this is where you're going to gain strength. This is where you're going to be able to stay on track. And if you are a coach, well, even if you're not a coach, I want you to stay on track. But if you are a coach, it is really important that you do stay on track. Doesn't mean you're not gonna have days that you miss a workout. Doesn't mean that you're gonna have days that you binge or have a cheat meal. But overall, it's important that you stay on track. So make sure you stay engaged in these. And the thing is, be raw, be real like me. Is that I'm honest that I love Beachbody. I drink Shakeology every day. I do my best to stick to the meal plan. I was very dedicated with PIO, but I'm human. So it's okay to share in the group. It's okay to share publicly that you screw up, because more people are going to approach you. More people are going to want you to be their coach. More people are going to respect you. And more people are going to be more inclined to follow you because you're not scary, crazy fitness Nazi. I mean, that's the case. So I encourage you all to share this. I'm not going to judge you. And I've had, a handful of haters over the last 28 months of being a coach. But overall, those people haven't stopped me, because I look at the amount of people that I've helped as, joined my team and who've joined my challenge groups and have had great results. And that's far better. But overall, you're going to get a lot of support. And if you are wanting to promote this, then make sure that you, are very honest, because, that's what people want. They don't want somebody who has such high standards and, it's something that they can't follow, because most people are coming to us and who are going to relate to you are going to be people who struggled in the past, who want the same type of things as you. And if they think that what you're portraying is unattainable, they're not going to probably come to you. So that's the one, because people always ask me, what's the one tip that you would give to any new coaches or existing coaches who are struggling? Be real, be honest, because people can tell that. And, the last thing too is, if you live in a small town and you're acting like you're, this and that, and you're not doing what they say, then, that can be detrimental to your reputation. So I'm very honest about, what I do. So anyways, there is no right or wrong reason of what you want to do. There's a lot of people who became coaches because they just want to do it for the discount. I call that just a discount coach or a silent coach, because it kind of takes the pressure off of it. It's ridiculous to me that so many people refuse to sign up as a coach because they're so intimidated by that label that they're willing to pay full price on products every month. That's ridiculous, because I see people going to Amazon, eBay, Groupon, Retail Me Not, all these websites to get, free stuff, cheaper stuff at a discount, but they'll pay full price for this because they don't want that label. So, if you are, this is something to keep in mind when you're telling people that there's no shame in being a discount coach. I always tell people too, if you don't want me to tell anybody, I won't. I have a few coaches who signed up around the time you guys did. I haven't added them to the group. I'm not going to publicly announce them because I don't want to. So you respect that. But if you want to be just a discount coach, that's fine. And I tell people, if you want to be a silent coach and just watch from the sidelines, because, I'm not really sure what your goals are exactly, Robin, but like you said, yeah, I do want to promote products once I get, my transformation going. So there's nothing wrong with that. And then there's Alicia who signed up like when we were in Summit, and she's like, come to Fit Club all the time. She joined the Cup Challenge, which is a 1 month starting tomorrow contest where you have a team of 5 coaches, and you go for a competition, and you work together as a team. And she was ready to jump in. I was that type of coach. And then there was my coach who sat there and thought about becoming a coach after being a customer for a really long time, for weeks before she signed up. Her first coach she signed up was her sister. Her sister took 6 months to start promoting products. Her sister took 3.5 years to make the decision to leave her full-time job, but she's like ranked as like 23 out of the company. So there is no right or wrong way. People like Alicia and I are very rare. Most coaches come in, they sit there, they work on their transformation, they're trying to develop why they want to do this. They're kind of, back and forth. We've had a lot of top coaches now. One of the coaches who is one of the top 10 of last year, she quit, came back, took a while, then just whenever she signed up right when I did, now she ranked as number 10. So the thing is, don't let that deter you. I'm always very clear to share this with you because I don't want you thinking you have to follow in Alicia's steps or my steps or compare yourself to anybody. There's no right or wrong reason. Other people say, well, as I go along, I'm going to tell people what I'm doing. And, if I can get a few customers who are my close friends, family members, coworkers, then I will. Because, just an FYI, if you don't realize it, if you have 3 customers on Shakeology Home Direct, the commissions you get will cover your out-of-pocket expenses for your own Shakeology. You need to have 50 personal volume points to stay active as a coach. These personal volume points do not have to come from outside sales. This is another thing is when you're talking to people about joining your team or signing up for the discount, the first thing I tell people is you don't have to go ship inventory to people. You don't have to go in people's houses and bring this crate with all this Shakeology and all these supplies Tupperware and all these other network marketing things. You don't have to assemble a team. You don't, there's no restrictions, there's no requirements, there's nothing you have to sign in blood to do. You are free to cancel at any time. You have to have 50 personal volume points. Shakeology carries 90 personal volume points. So if you drink Shakeology and have it every month, you're going to satisfy that requirement. Because that is a requirement for some other programs to be part of, which I'll get into as a coach and to stay active. You can write that off for tax purposes along with the $15.95 coach business fee, which charges every 30 days. You can't get out of the business fee even if you're just a discount coach, because I get asked that all the time. This is just maintenance fees for the websites. And still, if you're drinking Shakeology, even after paying that $15.95 fee, you still save $15 off of retail. So it's still worth it to be a discount coach. I mean, it's $15 a month. It doesn't add up to be a lot, but hey, it's something. For me, that's like a beer fund for like a month. But anyways, so those are, some things that people do. Then there's other people who say like, God, I have $10,000 of, credit card debt. I'd love to get paid off. Or, my kids want to go to these camps, or my husband and I want to go on a vacation and I'd like to have $1,000. Well, in a month's time, I can give you the formula on how to make about $900. So, that's that. Then there's other people who say, wow, Mindy, I watched you retire from your full-time job that, you didn't really like. I've watched your coach Gabriel do that. I've watched your coach Sam do that, and Amber Cornice, and Nikki Mason and Melissa Bardo never had to go back to work once they started this because they were stay-at-home moms contemplating going back to work. I would like the same thing. So there's different tiers, and there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not going to compare it with anybody. And if you share personal goals, I've had people share some very personal stories on why they have chosen to have this goal as a coach and what they want to do. And I don't share it with the team unless it is something they say you can do. And sometimes I'll share anonymously without people's name. You guys have seen all of that. I do not violate people's trust. But that's the first thing that I want you to do. You don't have to send it to me by tomorrow morning. You don't have to send it to me by, the end of the week. But sometime in a timely fashion, send to me what your goals are, what you're hoping to achieve with coaching, what your why is. Not I want to help people. That's just everybody in the beginning says that because that's just the right answer to say. I get that, but honestly, you're not really going to get that I want to help people till you actually get the first person who says you inspired me. So don't put that in the email. I want to hear what your reason is. Melissa Bartow had a lot of credit card debt when she became a coach on my team. She was very skeptical. She didn't know what she was going to do. She told me she just wanted to do the discount coach, be a discount coach. So did Sam. And instantly, within a couple weeks, they were promoting the business. They did great. But the thing is, I need to know what your goals are. Melissa is now, credit card debt free. Gabriel said, I'm a teacher. I'm a wife of a police officer or investigator. I run a successful photography business on the side. I love coaching, but it's going to be something I probably do on my breaks, as a teacher or in the summer. And I hit it hard. She was successful. She was good at what she did, but she was like, I'll never quit my job. And although she was an excellent school teacher, even though she loved what she was doing, after a while being surrounded by all this positivity and finally realizing that this was very attainable to do full time, she decided I'm ready to quit. And she did. She walked away. So the thing is, what you tell me now is going to help me know how to help you in the very, near future from here on out. But whatever your answer is to me, don't think that it's locked in or set in stone or locked in. I'm going to check back with you because, like I just said, things change. I've had people who are adamant about being just discount coaches, and I didn't push them. I respected them, but I checked back with them, and things change. So I need to know that. So if you're my personally sponsored coach, I'd like you to reply back to the email I sent you. If you're not my personally sponsored coach, let your coach know. So that way they know, because I'm hearing this from coaches all across the nation. I'm not getting any help. I'm not getting any support. My coach doesn't check up on me. So I'm trying to do this where I have great communication with you and I know where to work with you on. If you say you just want to be a discount coach, then I'm really going to work with you more like just a customer alone, where I'm going to just zero in on you, making sure you're drinking your Shakeology every day, making sure that your form is right and that you're sticking to your workouts, so that as the time goes on, you have a great transformation that makes you feel more confident, that other people start to take notice on. And then as the time goes on, if you get interest and if you decide as your confidence grows and you become more familiar with the benefits of Shakeology and the benefits of the community, et cetera, then we can move forward. The one thing that I ask everybody on my team, whether you're my personally sponsored coach or you're somewhere down the line of my team, is that I like to operate with integrity. I like to provide support, because you would not believe how many people tell me that they get no support from their coach, which I think is kind of malarkey to a degree, because of the fact that my coach was assigned somebody who didn't help them at all. And she has grown a huge team, successful team, a 6-figure plus income, has helped several people walk away from their jobs. So if you're a self-starter, blaming somebody is ridiculous, because I've heard people say, well, we're so far apart across the nation from each other. Well, that's crap too, because I'm like 1,200 miles from her. And although we maintain great contact and she's been helpful, I've done a lot of research on my own and learning on my own. So I don't agree with that, but I do feel that everybody's different. And some people are not self-starters. Some people don't believe in themselves. Some people have been, they're very dependent thinkers. They've been crapped on their whole entire life. And those people do need the guidance. So my thing is, don't feel pressured to work this business just to please me or just to keep up with somebody else in the team who you see doing great. If you're not ready to commit, and I'm not, like I said, you're not bound in blood to do this, but I don't want you just going through the motions selling products just to get money or Success Club points and then not giving them the support they deserve. If you don't have at least 30 minutes to an hour a day to be able to run your groups, which you don't really need that in the beginning, I guess, if you only have 1 or 2 customers. But if you can't see that you could set aside 30 minutes to an hour a day, or 4 or 5 hours a week to this, then probably you should just keep on your journey, keep drinking Shakeology, and be a discount customer until you can do this. And the thing is, I don't care who you are, you can actually find that time, even if you don't think, because if you do care about people and you do feel confident enough and you do love what you're doing, you'll find the time, just like anything. I mean, all of us, we know that we'll find the time for something if we want to. I can help people, organize their time. So those are the few things I wanted to say. The basis is, if you do want to promote the business, then basically everything you order, you get 25% off of. Anything that's ordered through you earn 25% yourself. So like I said, if you sell 3 Shakeologies, the commission you get will be enough to cover your Shakeology, because you pay 75% of retail. The best value for everybody is the challenge pack. The challenge pack, you get a program, Shakeology, and you save 25%, because like right now, Pio is $59.85. Shakeology is $129.95. If you order it separately, you pay like about $14 or $15 on shipping, plus you pay tax. Can't get out of the tax. But so you combine that, and right now until July 31st, it is on sale for $140. After that, it goes to $160. So that's still a pretty big savings. If you bought it separately, it'd be $190 plus tax and shipping. So I mean, that would be a lot of money. So this is your best value. You get the 30-day trial club membership. When you're a customer, it doesn't get automatically billed, because we had lots of problems with customers who would get billed, and you can imagine how many people, like I said, saying, oh my God, what's this charge? And then they get all crazy on you. They think that you screwed them, even if you already told them. And then there was a lot of coaches who forgot to tell people. So now if you're a customer, you get an email that you can activate your club membership, but that is very helpful. The club membership saves them for the first 30 days, 10% off of any orders. They can do a customized meal plan if they need to. You get the free or the $2 shipping. So basically save about $12 or $13 off of that. And then, you get your coach and everything with it. It's your best value. That's the first thing I share with people. When you're promoting this product, the best thing to do is find out what their goals are. Find out what their why is, because if you just send a link to somebody and then they say, oh my God, that's $140, they don't see the value in it. You haven't asked them what they're trying to achieve. And honestly, I see coaches who sell, Insanity was on sale this month, or still's on sale this month, and they're selling crap out of Insanity because it's on sale. It's you were saving like $100 and something, $140, I think, on the challenge pack based on retail. Well, that's a horrible program to start people with if they haven't worked out. Even somebody like me who's worked out for 2 years, that's a horrible program for me to buy. I don't like to sell stuff to people who based on cost. I try to find what works for them. Obviously, if you're just starting off, you may not know what is the best program. That's where the group help comes in. That's where I, as your coach or your upline, helps you with. But anyways, the challenge packs are the best value for everybody. And as a coach, any new customer who orders a challenge pack through you, you get 2 Success Club points. A customer can order a challenge pack every day. They can order a challenge pack every month, but you'll only get a maximum of 2 Success Club points. So the goal for every coach is we try to achieve Success Club 5 every month, which means that you get, you basically sell 2 challenge packs and 1 Shakeology Home Direct, because anytime anyone orders Shakeology, again, if they order on the one time, they get the $14 or $15 shipping tacked on, whereas if they order on Home Direct, they only pay $2. I tell everyone right away, if you want, I can set a reminder in my phone for 2 weeks to remind you to see if you want to continue with the shipments. And then I provide them right away. This can be canceled or changed or put on hold for up to 4 months anytime. I give them the customer service number and the customer service email. That way they have it. That way they don't feel as pressured. So anyways, you get 1 point for a Shakeology Home Direct. So again, if you have a customer who orders Shakeology Home Direct on July 1st, then cancels it, and say December 1st, they order another Shakeology Home Direct or a challenge pack, all you're going to get is 1 more Success Club point for them. But that's our goal. I've hit Success Club every month since I became a coach. I became a coach on February 15th and hit Success Club in that, in the last 15, or no, it's like in the last 15 days, the remainder of the month, last 2 weeks of the month. So it can be done. You're starting PiYo. You watched me share with you every day what my results were. My results, I know for a fact, is what Robin and Michelle were watching, which made them say, oh, I want PiYo. So my thing is, you're just starting as a coach. You may be a little scared to, jump in there, but if you're wanting to promote products, if you're wanting to earn extra income, if you'd like to help your friends, if you would like to have other people in your community or who you're close friends with, join you so that there's a little more accountability and support there, then my suggestion would be is to share your progress. You don't have to post a picture in your bathing suit or your sports bra like me, but just that I started PiYo the other day after watching, Mindy. I wanted to try this because I'm going to be sharing my journey with you. If you'd like to watch, stay tuned for the next 8 weeks. Something simple like that. That's piquing people's interest. You could even do what I did. Hold up day 1. Cover up your face if you're not comfortable, showing your whole face. Alicia's been making videos, whatever it is that you're comfortable with. But the thing is, if you're wanting to share with people, you have to get your audience drawn in. You have to get them curious. You have to share things about it that make them want it. Oh my God, after week 1, I'm starting to see muscles. They may be tiny, but I'm starting to see them. Or, wow, I'm really hungry on week 2. That means my metabolism's going fast. I don't know what it is. If you need help with sample things, let me know. I'm just trying to give you, examples of how to get it in, because like I said, I don't want to see you post, I just did PiYo Define, day 1, and then be 2 weeks later saying nobody's commenting and nobody's asking questions. Well, that was because it wasn't specific. That didn't warrant any type of response. That didn't get them curious at all. That just didn't even say, well, that's a pointless post and I have no clue what they're talking about. Or all the coaches on your Facebook can be like, yeah, go, I love Define, but nobody else is going to know. So those are the first things that I wanted to say. So I'm going to do a screen share so you can see what the Coach Online Office is, because that's the last thing I want to show you, and then I'll let you go. Here you go. So when you go to teambeachbody.com, I didn't go to there, but anyways, you go to teambeachbody.com and you hover your mouse, and then it'll say Coach and then Coach Online Office. This is going to be your virtual desk. This is where you're going to track orders and whatnot. I'm in Ryan's Business Center, but either way, same thing. the first thing you're going to want to do as a coach, if you are working on, if you'd like to promote it, is to go to my business, and then at the bottom, my EFT management. I don't know anybody who likes to wait for money, so I'm assuming that this is something you want to do. Our week runs from a new week starts at 12:01 on a Thursday, and it ends at 11:59 the next Wednesday. A week later, you get all your commissions via direct deposit. If not, they mail it to you. And geez, the U.S. mail is very, very, very inconsistent. It takes a while. Things get lost, and then they tag you with this nominal fee to have to mail it to you. I don't even know what it is, because nobody out there ever says, yeah, sure, mail it to me. Let's wait for a week or two for it. So my suggestion is to go in here, click on US EFT. You put in your bank name, the routing number, accounting number, and if it's checking or savings. And then that way, if I were to make have a challenge pack sale tomorrow on Tuesday, then the week closes at 11:59 on Wednesday. I get paid not this Thursday, but the next Thursday via direct deposit. The one thing that you'll want to do too is go to my websites, and it says Edit Beachbody Coach English, and then you can add a picture, your phone number. I never added Ryan's phone number. Oh well. Anyways, and up here at the top on the right, like right here, it says beachbodycoach.com, Ryan Horde. If you don't remember what your website is, which I did send it to you in your email if you're my personally sponsored coach, do make a folder for emails that say, whatever, because I get this from a lot of people who are like, I don't have the email that you sent me. So make sure that you save that email, because that has your coach ID number in it, the coach relations and customer service emails and telephone numbers. It is good to do a contacting your phone with that information. That's what I urge everybody to do. But if you, for some chance, don't remember what your website address is, and somebody's saying like, wow, you're on week 2 of PIO and it looks like something I can do, I'd like to order it through you, this is where you're going to find your website address if you don't have it. The one thing here is that under my business, this is where you're going to track everything. Like you would track your commissions that you get, like if you woke up Thursday morning and you're like, I think I sold, a challenge pack, I want to make sure, you click on commissions, and it's going to show you what you earn. Let me go back here. If anybody signs up as a customer under you, whether they just sign up as a free membership, and that's why I do tell a lot of people, and this is one thing that I've suggested to new coaches too, is that when you're saying like, hey, I'm going to share my journey, open up a private group where you might post a little more personal information in there. You keep it closed, but then people can watch you from the sidelines, and you can share a little more information. Like if you didn't feel comfortable sharing a sweaty pic on your page in the beginning, you might feel a little more comfortable in a closed, more controlled audience, and you could put them in there. I would have them sign up for a free membership through your website that way. Down here, when you scroll down, it'll have alerts, and it would say you have one new customer, and that's where you click on it. If you ever wanted to check on the orders, you would click on volume details, and that's where it's going to show you the total PV. Like right there, Ryan's showing 180 PV. It was just for 2 Shakeology orders, because I said they carried 90 PV. The one thing that I'd like you to print off too and go over in the beginning is under sales and marketing. And then if you go to business tools, and then you'll click on Beachbody Toolkit, and you'll scroll down about 4 or 5 right here. It's the Beachbody Challenge, the complete guide, frequent asked questions. I think it's about 4 or 5 pages. This is something you're going to want to print off, save on your desk, save, carry on your purse in the beginning if you're planning on, promoting this. But read it over, because it's going to give you a lot of answers to questions you're going to get from potential challenge group people. And it's going to give you the prices and what's included in the challenge packs. The same thing here is under my business and my forms and documents. You can print a price list. That's kind of long too, because we have a ton of products now, but those are kind of helpful things. One thing I encourage everybody to do, whether you are a discount coach or if you're saying like, gosh, I really want to, work towards your goals, is the Coach Training Academy. This is one thing that, like I said, Melissa and Sam were like, oh my God, I don't want to do what you're doing. You can add me to your group thing, but don't expect me to do what you're doing. I'm like, okay. And I sent them the same invitation that I sent you. I've refined the email a little bit, but I do encourage everybody to go through the Coach Training Academy. Well, guess what? They went through the Coach Training Academy and knocked it out in like a day or two. And going through that and seeing the opportunity that was involved, getting a little bit of training is what made them say, wow, I actually want to do this. So I'm telling you that I'd like you to do this regardless of what your goals are. And the same thing is that when you do sign coaches, at least give this information and get them pointed in the right direction. Encourage them to it. You can't force them. You can't make them. Don't hassle them. But at least provide the same information. Be consistent about sharing this. So you would just go to news and training, Coach Training Academy, and then there's sections right here. My business essentials, invite, how to earn, Beachbody Challenge Group trainings, my business reports, lead lessons, and then there's reference materials, documents that you can read. This isn't something that, if you work full time or if you have kids that you're probably going to do, but it can in a day or two. But I've had a couple people do it in one day, a couple people do it in 2 days. My suggestion is if your attention span is short like mine, or if you're busy, then click on it and watch 1 or 2 videos a day. Most of the videos are under 5 minutes. There are a couple of them that are pretty long. They're very informative, but there's some topics on coaching that are impossible to condense. But set a goal to get this done by within a month, or to watch 2 videos a day, whatever works for your schedule and your attention span. But I would watch them on the YouTube channel because of the fact that they're easier to access than the ones, because it says access through the video library or access through the Coach Online Office. But I sent the 7-day quick start to you. I'd like you guys to also fill that out. It's an interactive page where you can type it in and fill it in, but it helps you set the goals. And then on the last page, it does talk about how to invite people, because this is the thing is that, like I said, a lot of people are saying, I'm not getting a response. Well, they're not following the invitation process. They're not actually inviting people. They're just sharing what they're doing. So that does pique interest, but that's not always what it takes. So go over that. And if you don't have it, Megan and Alicia, then I do have it in, it is in the Coach Online Office under the reference materials. And it is right off the bat too, I think, in the Coach Space or in the Coach Training Academy. So that's all the information I had, because I don't want to keep you too long, but I do want to welcome you, encourage you to share your journey, encourage you to get involved, and to work with all of us, because we're all on the same team. Even though you may have a different sponsor, we're all here together. And if it weren't for all the coaches in the community and inside the organization, I wouldn't be half the person I am now. So I want the same thing for you. If you decide to remain a discount coach for an indefinite period of time, I'm still here for you. Never hesitate to reach out to me. On when you log into your Coach Online Office, my number's there if you don't have it, and if I'm your upline, I'm going to be under there too, listed as a contact. So I'm here for you. I'm super busy. I get lots of messages today, but don't ever think that I'm not there for you, because I get all the time from my own people. I hate to bother you. It may take me a long time, and I may say on Facebook, oh my God, I'm reading messages, but I love what I do. So you're not bothering me. Oh, one last thing I want to say too is one thing I do explain to people is if you are looking, if you're wanting to lead a team, I really want to teach you leadership skills, because in the beginning, I just would give people the answers because I wanted to be helpful and I wanted to save you time. Well, that's the point that I have like such a huge team of hundreds of coaches. It's impossible to do that. And then I wasn't really developing people who were developing teams that were doing something, because everybody was so dependent on me. And it's hard now, but it was really hard when I was working full time. So I do ask everybody is to make sure that you try to find information independently. If you're in the Coach Online Office and you scroll all the way to the bottom, it's a button that says frequent asked questions. If you have a question, type it in there, like how much is PIO? How long will PIO be on sale? Or something like that. And it will give you all the answers. And post in the Team Relentless group. The point that I tell people, and people have gotten offended when I say this, but post in the Team Relentless group. Not because your question's not important, not because I'm not so busy, but the thing is you guys are, baby coaches, week old, and you have this question that you could answer, you might need an answer. I may have had 60 messages, or I may be at Fit Club, or I may be at another Beachbody event, or I may be sleeping till noon because I'm tired from all this, events. But if you have a question, somebody else may be able to answer you in a more timely manner. Plus, there may be a coach that just signed up yesterday who had that same question but was too nervous to ask, or reads the response that I or another coach answers you on, and then next week when they're faced with the same question they need answered, it pops up in their mind. So it's not that you're not important. It's not that I'm too busy for you, but when you ask these things in there, it aids everybody else, and it does make it where other leaders in the group can step up. You get a timelier response, and you're helping other people learn at the same time. There is no such thing as a stupid question, unless it's something that like I told, like some of these coaches who've been coaches for a year or two all across the nation are messaging me now, how much is PiYo and how long is PiYo workouts? That honestly, I will say, is a stupid question, because every coach out there who's been working the business has been talking about PiYo for like 3 months. They could Google it. They could go to the PiYo workout Facebook page. They could look at the coach in the office. So stuff like that, I don't even respond to anymore, because I feel like I kind of said that if you've been a coach for a year and you've been watching everybody talk about PiYo, you've watched me post my videos, you've watched me post Shalene's videos, you've watched me post about my webinars and my blog, and you can't figure out how long that is, you have no business selling PiYo to anybody, because if you can't figure that out on your own, you're not going to be an effective leader. So I do, ask everybody that, like, so that, I'm not going to ridicule you, but I mean, try to kind of like do a little bit of your research when it's something basic like that. When it comes to that, you can find those things in the frequent asked questions. Gabriel texted me the other day, hey, I got somebody asking me, like, how much money do you make with Beachbody? What would you say? Those kind of things, like, you can't find that. You can't Google that answer. You can't look in the coach online office. Those are good things to ask. Or if you're saying, like, I have a customer who asked this question and you can't find it, that's one thing. But, try to think independently if you can. If you're just barely new like you guys are, then yes, some of these things are going to be overwhelming, and ask away. But I mean, a year from now, if you're still asking me how long the length of a program is that I've been posting about for 3 months, then I'm going to just virtually slap you. So anyways, I'm going to, hold on, that's not what I was going to do. Unmute all. Anybody have any questions?
I'm actually late for my Team Cup meeting, so I'm going to say goodbye. It was very educational.
All right. Well, I'm going to upload this to YouTube so you guys can watch it later, and that way everybody else who missed it can get on. So let me know if you have any questions, and just good luck on your workout things, and feel free to hit me up anytime you need me.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mindy.
All right. Have a good
Bye.
night. Bye.
Bye.